So COVID-19 has been around for several weeks at this stage, and we're all familiar with the signs and symptoms of coronavirus. But just to remind you, the most common features are of a cough, shortness of breath or a high temperature. But in fact, any flu-like symptoms or any upper respiratory tract symptoms of a head cold might indicate that you would be suffering from COVID-19 infection. And if this is the case, we are asking you not to come racing to make sure that we don't encourage any spread of COVID-19 as we come out of lockdown. There are several measures that are put in place and that are widely known to protect ourselves. What we think is that COVID is spread from close contact, face-to-face contact within a metre of an infected person for a prolonged period of time of at least 15 minutes. So this is why the social distancing aspect of this is so important. It's also thought to be spread if you were to touch a surface that someone may have coughed on and the virus is on your hand. The virus cannot infect you through your skin, but if you touch your face, your eyes, mouth or nose, the virus can enter your system that way and cause the infection. So the basic principles that we've been taught and have been widely on social media and the Government Department of Health that have encouraged us to do, primarily are hand washing, cough etiquette, don't touch your face and social distancing. So there will be ample opportunities throughout the racecourse to wash your hands. Hot water and soap will be available in all of the bathrooms, as well as lots of hand sanitizer, the alcohol-based sanitizer, to use at every opportunity. I would also encourage you to bring your own sanitizer, to have it in your car or your vehicle so that you can be cleaning your hands as often as you can. In terms of cough etiquette, it's important that if you do cough or sneeze, and we're accepting that people may have hay fever or other reasons and that they may have a cough or a sneeze, you cough into a tissue in the bin and then wash your hands. Or if you don't have a tissue, you cough into your arm, your upper sleeve, so that you're not spreading those droplets in the direction of another person. Don't touch your face. This is really important, like I said, that you might transfer the virus to your face. So just try and at all times not to touch your face unless you've just washed your hands. And the final part is social distancing. We've heard this term through every government briefing and every newspaper, every time you turn on your television. Social distancing is what is key to this. If someone has a COVID infection, their close contacts are deemed to be anyone who lives in a house with them or anybody that you've spent time with, close contact, less than 1 metre for more than 15 minutes. And our aim is to make sure that when we finish up on a race day that no one here has spent more than 15 minutes within 1 metre of another person and therefore would not be deemed a close contact of that person. There are a few other things that we've put in place in relation to face coverings and face masks. Our policies are in line with the government advice, and that is anyone who is in an indoor area or who is unlikely to be able to strictly adhere to 2 metre distancing at all times will wear a face covering. So in the weigh room, you'll see the clerk of the scales wearing a mask, the valets, the stewards in the stewards room. But please bear in mind, within these areas, everyone working in these areas will be able to easily maintain 2 metres, but just by nature of the fact that it's indoors, they will be wearing a face covering. The stall handlers will wear a face covering because there may be a time briefly when pushing a horse in that they may have to breach the 2 metre distance. The same with the doctors and the vets. When treating a patient or an injured horse, it may not be possible to maintain 2 metres, so they will be wearing face coverings. The jockeys will be wearing them in the parade ring, in the weigh room, but they will not be asked to wear them during the race. The IHRB security staff will also wear face masks, just by nature of the fact that even though there'll be 2 metres on their outside, they will have a lot of management of the flow of people, so they will wear them for extra precaution. In terms of gloves, absolutely you can choose to wear gloves or not, but the key point with gloves are that a gloved hand is still a danger to you if you're touching your face. The virus will still survive on the glove. So the most important thing with gloves is that you change them often and you don't forget to wash your hands. So the greatest fear is that by wearing gloves you get complacent. And if you're wearing the same pair of gloves all day and you're constantly rubbing your face, you're putting yourself at risk. The reason that we're allowed back racing is we're bringing back the smallest number of people for the shortest period of time in the biggest area available to us. We're non-contact. Everyone here can do their role without close contact to another person, and we're outdoors, and that's what we need to use to our advantage.